Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today I'm going to show you how to install these fireplace doors. Now, as you can see, I unboxed everything, took it out, laid all the material on the ground over here. We're going to take the doors, we're going to lay the doors down face down on a surface that they will not be scratched, so that you want to have plastic down if you're working on tile. If you're on carpet, then of course you don't have to worry about that. All right, so we're going to lay the doors down. We're going to install the insulation on the back first. We're going to assemble all of the brackets that come with it, and then we're going to put these doors on and we're going to wrap this job up. So all right, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to take our insulation. You'll notice one is thicker than the other. The thicker panels go on the side and the thinner ones go on the bottom. So we're going to separate them. You pull them apart, and you'll have, usually on the one piece, you can split it down the middle and you'll have 2 or 3 different places. You'll look where it actually is, it can separate. And then you fill in all the areas that the insulation belongs in as per the directions. Once they're in there, you just make sure it slides all the way through the end, and we're ready to go on to the next step. Okay, the next step now is, depending on the opening, the fireplace opening, if you are required to, at this point is when you want to attach this lower piece. And again, I said as it depends what the opening height of your fireplace would be. But if it is, it just goes underneath the bottom, and you have these bolts right here that you put through. It's just a screw. You put it through there and you tighten it up, and that'll give you the additional height required. But in this particular case, we do not need the height adapter underneath there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our brackets to secure it into the opening of the fireplace, and we're going to assemble it as per the directions. All right, so we're going to assemble these, and then we'll come back and we'll install it into the opening. Okay, and then we'll just screw the retaining bolt that's going to hold it up against the fireplace opening, and we'll screw it in just till it's finger tight. And then, depending on the width of the fireplace opening, you'll need to put the bracket on the fireplace doors and adjust it according to your application. And now we'll go on the other side, and we'll install the other one on the left side of the door as well. And on the left side here, we're going to assemble it the same way we did the right side, and we'll put it into the appropriate slot so that we can lift this up and put it into the opening, and then we can tighten it up. Okay, so now we have the doors held in the position. They're just sitting in that position where they're going to be into the opening. We're going to snip away all the material that holds the doors in position and protects the corners so that they didn't get broken during the shipping process. Now, what we have underneath the fireplace doors, you can see, is a piece of cardboard between the tile and the doors. So twofold: one, we don't damage the tile, and two, we do not scratch the brand new doors. Hold the new fireplace doors in position with one hand while you pull away the packing material. Now, when you try to open up the glass part of the door and you swing it out, the weight of the door is going to cause the fireplace doors to pull away from the fireplace because it's just sitting in that position. It's not secured in place yet. So be careful. Get all the packing material out. Once the packing material is out, we're going to open up the wire mesh in the back of it so we can gain access inside the doors themselves to where we're going to attach it to the fireplace. Now, what you can do is, underneath the glass part of the doors, you can put some packing material underneath there to assist you, just in case the fireplace doors slide out and wind up touching the floor. So we're going to put something underneath there to keep that from happening, and it'll hold the door in place while we go up inside and we connect up on top of the fireplace, the bracket, and then we come down to the right and left side, and we'll tighten in the bottom part of the fireplace into the opening as well. All right, so let's assemble the upper part that's going to connect onto it. Again, we just have a couple of screws that go in there, and we can screw that together, and then we'll go inside the fireplace doors up inside, and we'll connect everything up inside first, and then we'll do the bottom part. The next step we're going to have is we're going to assemble the upper part that holds the door, the top part of the door, into the fireplace opening. So we'll just follow the directions and we'll assemble it as they show in the directions. Okay, we have it all together here. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, so that way we can go inside and assemble it, and it'll hold in place. So let's go inside and connect it. Now I know this is going to be difficult to see on the inside, but this is looking from inside the fireplace up where the doors touch up against the opening itself. And most of the time you'll find a metal beam up inside there that actually secures the bricks up in place. You're going to take the bracket, hold it up in place, make sure that your set screw is nice and tight so that it doesn't move at all. It slides in and out to adjust for the opening. Once you have it set to the opening width, then you screw it. Then you screw the adjustment down by hand, and you want to screw it down just until it touches and just a little bit tighter. You don't want to use any tools on it. You want to screw it in by hand only. Then we're going to go around to the one on the other side, and we're going to make sure that that one is the exact same way we did this one. We'll do the exact same thing on that side as well. Nice and tight. And now we'll do the one on the other side the exact same way. And that's what it's supposed to look like when it's all done. That holds the upper part in. The next thing we have to do now is we have to go down to the bottom and tighten up the bottom brackets as well. Okay, next thing we do now is we take our brackets and we put them into the openings. The slots that we calculated is where it would be. There's only one way it can go. And now that'll hold the bottom part of the door into the opening as well. And again, we're going to screw it in by hand. We're not going to screw it in with any kind of a tool or pliers or anything like that. All right, now this is tough. You may need to get in there with two hands. I'm trying to do this with one hand and to film it at the same time. And we'll just screw it down until it comes in contact with the brick, and that'll hold the bottom part of the door in as well. You don't want to tighten it too tight because you don't want to break any of the bricks. So we're just going to snug it down. And then we're going to go to the opposite side, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side, and that will hold the bottom of the fireplace doors into the opening, just till it touches. And then we'll go around the other side, and we'll do the exact same thing on the other side, and that'll secure the door top and bottom, and it won't move at all. Okay, and as you can see, we did it on the other side, the exact same thing. Sorry about the shaking, but it's tough doing it on the inside of the door. And that's it. Okay, so once the doors are securely held on the top and the sides the way they're supposed to be, we can take that packing material out that was underneath the glass part of the door that kept them from falling down while we were inside securing everything. We could take that out. Next thing we do is we put the small little screw through there and we attach the door handle on there. We're going to catch it just by hand. You're not going to screw it in with a screwdriver yet. You're just going to screw it in a couple of threads by hand. Then we rotate that handle up. And we put our other screw through there, put the handle up. Now if you tighten the first screw tight, it'll be more difficult to get the second screw in. So just loosely catch both of them, and then once you catch both of them in place, then you can tighten up both screws as tight as you can by hand. Don't over tighten them and break anything or strip anything out, just as tight as you can by hand. Okay, we're going to go to the other side now, and we're just going to duplicate what we did on the right side on the left side. We're going to close that metal mesh that's inside there that keeps the sparks from coming out. We're going to pull our handle out. We're going to take the two screws that they supplied with it as well, and we're going to put the screws through the glass part of the door, and then we'll secure the handle on. Again, you're just going to catch one bolt in there by a couple of threads, and once you catch it by a couple of threads, then you can go around and tighten up the top screws all the way. All right, so catch it by hand first. And then once you have it caught, you're not tightening it up yet. You're just going to snug it up and then bring it up and catch your second screw in there. Once that second screw is caught, then you can go ahead and tighten up both of the screws as tight as you can by hand. But again, don't over tighten them. You don't want to strip anything or break anything. That's it. And our doors are assembled and closed up just perfectly. Okay, so that's it. Our fireplace doors are now on. The hardest part you're going to run into is connecting up the two top pieces up there onto the metal part to hold it in place. But just take your time and you shouldn't have any problem. Of course, consult your manual just to make sure. If you're not positive about anything, read through your manual just to make sure. But that's it. The job is done and we're on to the next one. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one.